Hey guys, my name is Chaotic, and in this video I'm going to be covering the 10 best vehicles on GTA 5 which can be found around the map of Los Santos and then stored inside of your garage. Now bear in mind some of these vehicles can be purchased on the internet, however there are vehicles which can only be found around the map. But either way, let's get straight into this video and start off with the vehicle which I have positioned in 10th place. So getting straight into things, I have positioned the Benefactor Dubser in 10th place. Now bear in mind, this is the 4x4 SUV version and not the huge 6x6 version. Now this car is in fact based off the Mercedes G-Wagon, and I'm sure you guys would agree that this car looks really cool even before it's been customized at the Los Santos Customs. Now there isn't exactly a spawn location where you can find these at specifically, you just need to have them spawning in at the right time of day. Now what you will find is that sometimes when you're driving around the map, you won't be able to get one of these to spawn in. So what I recommend that you do is get yourself an SUV and just keep hopping from lobby to lobby, so just keep finding new sessions and eventually you'll get one to spawn in. Now although there isn't exactly a specific spawn location for the Dubster, what I would recommend that you do is get yourself an SUV and just drive around the most northern part of the city, and by having an SUV from the exact same car class, what it will do is trigger more SUVs to spawn in and eventually you'll get yourself a Dubster. It also goes without saying that I highly recommend that you take this car down to the Los Santos Customs once you have found yourself one of these, because there are so many different customizations and modifications available for this thing to really pimp it out and change the way this thing drives and looks. Moving on to the next car, we have the Alberni Banana. Now this is not any old standard Banana, this is the customized gang version. So what you want to do to get yourself one of these is make your way to Grove Street. I have just shown you the location on the map. Just make your way to this location anytime after 7 PM or 1900 hours, and what you will then do is find yourself one of these either driving up and down the road or parked by the side of the road just like I have done. Now the reason that I say that you want to find yourself the gang version of the Banana rather than the standard version is because this car looks so much better and it has customizations already on it, and some of them you can't even fit at the Los Santos Customs to this car. For example, the grills which go over the headlights, I think it's such a nice customization, and it is a shame that you can't actually get that customization for this car at the Los Santos Customs. Now I myself am not a huge fan of the dark green colour which this car can be found in, however there are 3 different versions of this car which can be found depending on which gang you get this car from. Of course you've got the dark green, there is also purple and yellow which are also available, but they can be found in different locations. Moving on to the next vehicle, I have positioned the Lifeguard Atv in 8th place in this video, for the simple fact this vehicle is quite rare and very few people actually have it as a personal vehicle. Now to find this, what you want to do is make your way to my location on the beach anytime during the day, and one of these will spawn in. It is quite easy to get one of these things to spawn in, but if you are having difficulties, just keep driving up and down the beach and eventually one of these will spawn in. Now although the Lifeguard Atv is not very popular and is not something which you see in people's garages very often, but that's mainly down to the fact that most people would prefer to store cars rather than vehicles just like this one. But even so, I still think this Lifeguard Atv is a really cool vehicle to have inside of your garage. It will certainly offer you that sense of uniqueness and originality because very few people actually have it as a personal vehicle. The bodiless dune buggy, in my opinion, deserves 7th place, for the simple fact there is only one spawn location where you can find this at, and it's at the location which I'm currently at, which I will be showing you in just a few moments time in the video. So what you want to do is make your way to this location anytime during the day, and one of these will spawn in randomly, but to increase your chances of finding one, just get yourself a standard dune buggy or a quad bike, and when you drive past this location, eventually one of these will spawn in. You can also store this version of the dune buggy in your garage if you want to, and in my opinion this is the best vehicle to use when going off-roading, for the simple fact this vehicle will go just about anywhere, obviously within reason, and it will continue going at high speed. Rapidly moving on to 6th place, we have one of the hardest vehicles to find on GTA 5, this vehicle of course being the Nemesis Motorcycle. This is possibly one of the rarest motorcycles on GTA 5, but still one of the best. There are in fact several different spawn locations where the Nemesis can spawn in, but actually getting one to spawn in is quite difficult. The location which I would recommend going to is the location which I have just shown a few moments ago in the video. To increase the likelihood of getting one of these to spawn in, what I would recommend that you do is make your way to this location during the night on a motorcycle, and of course by having a motorcycle from the exact same class will increase the possibility of one of these spawning in. However, if you are having difficulties getting one of these to spawn in, just keep finding a new session, and as you do so, eventually one of these will spawn in for you. The hearse is going to be listed as the 5th best vehicle on GTA 5 to be found and stored inside of your garage. However, to get one of these to spawn in, what you want to do is find someone that already has a hearse and they want to make their way to this location on GTA 5, and by coming to this location in a hearse, it will trigger more of these to spawn in, and obviously the likelihood of getting one of these to spawn in if you already have one is much greater. You can in fact find the hearse on its own without needing someone that already has one, but of course getting one of these to spawn in on its own is very difficult. So what I would recommend that you do if you really want to get the hearse is leave a comment on the video saying that you're looking for someone to spawn one in for you, and of course then you can hook up with someone in the comment section and you can get one of these for yourself. You can also take the hearse down to the Los Santos Customs, where there are quite a few customizations available for it. Overall, I really like this car, which is why it's been positioned in 5th place. So next we have the Sandking Xl, this of course being the 4-seater double cab version. I myself really like this car, which is why I have placed it in 4th place in this video. I in fact have a pickup truck in real life myself, which is why my opinion towards this car is going to be slightly biased. But you can find this car around the Sandy Shores area. There is no specific spawn location, just simply make your way to this location around the Sandy Shores area anytime during the day or night, and one of these should spawn in. If you're having difficulties finding one of these, just keep finding new sessions and eventually one of these will spawn in and you'll be able to get inside of it and take it down to the Los Santos Customs, where you can then of course make this your own personal vehicle, as well as add some customizations to it, because there are loads of different customizations available for the Sandking. The Sandking is definitely one of the best cars on GTA 5. You can also buy it on the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website on the internet for $95,000, but personally it's just as easy to go up to Sandy Shores and get one to spawn in. The Merryweather Jeep has been awarded 3rd place in this listing, so basically to get this what you want to do is call up Merryweather and you want to call in the mercenaries on someone in the lobby. And by doing so, when they arrive they will turn up in the Merryweather Jeep, and all you have to do then to obtain it so you can keep it as your own personal vehicle is take out the 4 mercenaries when they hop out of the Jeep, and of course then the Jeep is then yours to store inside of your garage or take down to the Los Santos Customs, where you can then customize it. Now there is one thing which you will have to bear in mind: when you take out the 4 mercenaries in the Jeep, a second Jeep will spawn in and there'll be 4 mercenaries in that one. And every time you take out those 4 mercenaries, another one will spawn in a few moments later. And of course this is an infinite process and they will keep spawning in until eventually your friend is killed. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with me when I say this, the Mercenaries Jeep looks insane before you even take it into the Los Santos Customs, because there are some really cool modifications already on it, and taking this car down to the Los Santos Customs is only going to improve it further. It is definitely something which you want to get, and thinking about it for $7,500, consider it an investment rather than a liability. So moving on into 2nd place, we have the Sentinel Xs. Now this car doesn't actually have a specific spawn location, but it is quite a common car to find in the city of Los Santos. So basically just drive around the city and eventually you will find one to spawn in, but if you are having difficulties, just go from new session to new session and eventually you will find one driving around or parked up by the side of the road. Now it also goes without saying that this car has loads of different customizations available for it at the Los Santos Customs, which improve its styling and the way that it drives. It is an incredible car and it is one of my favourites on GTA 5, and I will pick this car over any other which I see driving around. Now although you can purchase the Sentinel Xs on the internet on the Southern San Andreas Super Autos site, I would recommend just going out and finding one, as they are extremely common and very easy to find. There are 2 different versions which can be found. You've got the hardtop version and the convertible. I myself prefer the hardtop version, but I'm sure there are people that prefer the convertible, and I guess that's all down to your personal preferences. So anyway, that is enough for the Sentinel Xs. Let's move on to the car which I positioned in 1st place, and this car of course is the one, the only, the Sultan RS. However, when you find it around the map of Los Santos, it will be called the Sultan. So there isn't any specific spawn location for this one either. However, the best location to find this car at is at the Prism. So what you want to do if you can't find this car when driving around, just make your way to the Prism, and if it's not there, just go from new session to new session, and I can guarantee within a few minutes you will get one to spawn in. The Sultan itself is a very popular car throughout the GTA 5 community, and that's mainly down to the number of modifications and customizations available for it at the Los Santos Customs. And of course, with the right customizations, you can turn the Sultan into the Sultan RS when you fit the front bumper, and it will then give you the side stickers saying Sultan RS. There are so many customizations available for the Sultan that you can transform it from what looks like a standard basic sedan into an incredible looking sports car. If you can find yourself and get your hands on a Sultan, I highly recommend that you do, simply because of how cool and awesome this car is. So there you have it guys, that is all I have for this video, and I have shown you the top 10 best vehicles which can be found around the map of Los Santos and stored inside of your garage. If you guys have enjoyed this video, be sure to take a few seconds out of your time to click the like button, as it does help me out a lot and it's also greatly appreciated. Now if you guys have any more car suggestions which you feel should have been in the top 10 but haven't been included, be sure to leave your car suggestions as a comment, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, already recommend that you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.